Ladies and gentlemen, satellite fans. Okay, we got a junior here, one of the stars of the softball team. Okay, and kind of Tanny, tell us how you're doing. Tell the world how you are doing here on this Sunday evening.
Good. Nothing really much else to it.
Okay, so how did you start in softball?
I started, I believe in sixth year. I think I was like 4 years old, so I was one of the younger ones. I went all through rec, and then I believe my first year of 10U, I was just starting to get bored with rec. So then I went and tried out for like a small travel ball team, and then I've just grown ever since and became better.
Absolutely. So, when did you kind of start in Crown Point's travel ball team and stuff like that?
So I started last year with them. Last year was my first season with them. Um, I had a lot of different tryouts I was going to, and like I was kind of more towards like this area, close to Union Mills, and I was like, we'll just go out to Crown Point. I've heard a lot about them. Holly Novorowski played for them, so I heard a lot about them through her. So she's like, you should go try out, and so then I went and tried out last year and made their team, and then I'm back with them again this year.
Absolutely. So, kind of with Holly and Lauren, was that kind of a hey, let's kind of try this kind of get more exposure kind of thing, even though we're you're playing for one of the best programs in Northwest Indiana and the softball team for South Central.
So I at first didn't know that Lauren was going to be with the Bulldogs. I actually found out when we had our banquet last year for the softball team. And so then I found out she was with them. So I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And I knew Lauren was looking at a lot of different colleges at that point. And then for Holly, I didn't really know much. Like I was young. I was like young when I started talking to her. I was a freshman, so I was still a little timid. So we didn't really get into talking about it that much. I just knew that she was with the organization.
Absolutely. So, kind of even getting in your own recruiting, like, so how did you land at the university that you're kind of looking at this moment?
So, October of my sophomore year, I was with this new team, didn't really know what to expect. We were going up to Concordia for a Bulldog only camp and campus tour, and we were going with our 18. So I got to experience it with Lauren. We went up, did like the campus tour. I was like, okay, I really like this school. And then we did like a little camp with their team. So like hitting, fielding. And then at the end, we did a scrimmage against our 18U team so the coach could really see what
Mhm.
our max potential was at that time. And then after the game, Coach Kavanaugh pulled me and three other girls out on the field and said she was really interested in us and that we should be hearing from her by the end of the year with or without an offer. And then that's how we kind of came in contact. I emailed her a few times. I've tagged her in a bunch of my Twitter posts, just like keep her updated on like the goals I've been achieving and like the improvements I've made.
Absolutely. So, what is your favorite like off-season technique that make your game to the next level kind of thing?
I would say with my travel ball team, like during winter time when we aren't really doing tournaments as much, it's mainly practice. We do weightlifting and conditioning, so like CrossFit. Um, so I really like doing that just to like keep up with my skills, like
Right.
strength wise. And then I have a private hitting instructor I go to every single week. So I keep up with him. I don't stop anything during the off season. If anything, I go harder during the off season to show off like all of my stuff during season.
Absolutely. So, what kind of pitches do you look for when you're up the bat? When you're in a hitter's count versus when you're just a 0-2 account?
I would say 0-2. My range is pretty wide. Obviously, I don't want to chase after anything too crazy, but for like a 2-3 count, I'm really looking for outside to drive to right field because this past year I did get a lot better. That was one of my strengths that I did achieve last season. So I would say outside pitch to right field would be my go-to. But then if it's like that 0-3 and I get the sign that you can hit, it's meatball right down the middle.
Absolutely. Okay. What is your walk-up song for this year? I know it's early, but what's the
Ooh.
walk-up song?
I think I'm not really sure yet. There's a few options that I'm kind of, keeping in the back of my mind. But I had Crazy Train last year. And I really always want something that like can keep my momentum up, like going up the batter's box, like, okay, I can do this, like in my head. So something like that, something on that side of the table.
Absolutely. So I ask this to every college student I do an interview with and stuff like that from softball and stuff like that. A similar situation, similar answer. So yeah, I mean, Crazy Train, that gets the people going. It
Yeah.
gets them going. So, what is kind of the mental aspects that you've seen in the first 2 years here in high school softball?
Um, I would say my freshman year, I can tell now I was at like a low point for like mentally. I was always doubting myself, didn't think I was good enough. Um, I think the one thing that helped though was having like Holly Novorowski. She really took me under her wing and like mentally and physically like showed me that I can be more than what I actually was. So I took that into my summer travel ball and I could see a big difference, a big difference. So I kept the same mentality throughout my sophomore year of like, there's nothing that you cannot achieve if you, like, there's nothing you can't achieve if you just work hard for it. And so I've just kept that same mentality throughout, and I'll keep it through the next 2 years is just go for what you want and then you just have to work for it. My parents have always told me you work for what you get. So if I work for it, I'll get it.
Absolutely. And plus, you'll have more film on you for the high school stuff and everything like that. So, what are some things you're kind of looking forward to with softball season coming up, with travel ball coming up? So, what are some aspects that you're kind of gearing for?
For travel, I'm really excited because we have a few new girls on our team this year. But I love my travel ball team. Absolutely love. I love our mentality. We're not really like a team. We're more like a family. So I just love how well we get along. Then in the field, you can see it in the field too. We like go together. For high school, I'm really excited. I'll be one of like the upperclassmen this year, so I'll be more of a leader in the outfield as well as with Olivia and Kendall. I'm really excited to have them two with me again. I feel like second year will be pretty good. But I'm excited to have some of the newer girls who have really good potential. I'm excited to show them and kind of take them under my wing to show them the do's and don'ts that I did when I was their age so I can lead them into the right direction.
Absolutely. Being a leader like Holly was and stuff like that, kind of learning under her wing, and then you getting to take a freshman under your wing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so what are kind of the X's and O's that you're kind of even focusing on to get better with your hitting, with kind of your fielding, with your catching that you've even learned from playing last year in the highest game that's possible in high school?
I would say my hitting, I did start the year a little rocky. Wasn't my best. So I went through a lot of things like in the middle of high school season last year and then coming out hitting 4 home runs and then one of them being off Natalie Minor in the PCC game. That was like the breaking point. I feel like anything can go up from there. So for my hitting, really just working on the same things I've been working on. Like throughout the summer after travel, I met with my hitting coach. We're like, okay, here's the things we're going to work on, and we worked on this like muscle memory. So it's basically muscle memory. I feel like if I can get that, I'll be fine in the batter's box. In the outfield, this high school season, maybe only have like one error. I think I had like two last year. I always want to keep my errors down. And then probably getting more people out at home and third, because I started to get a little bit more people out towards the end of last year. And I feel like my arm strength has grown. So hopefully getting more people out.
Absolutely. So, kind of talking about your recruitment and stuff like that, is your recruitment still open, or is it the school that you got like committed to already? Is that your school?
As of right now, Concordia is my number one choice. It's checked off all of the boxes that I've had. And if another school were to come around, I would go through all those boxes and I would check and see, okay, does this school meet the same stuff that Concordia has? Because Concordia's checklist is really long and it checks all of it. And if it does, well, then that's something I can discuss with my family and my coaches. But as of right now, I really see Concordia as my place.
Okay, nice. So, have you been on campus yet, Concordia?
I have. As I said, I went in October with my Bulldog team, and I did a campus tour, and we went to like a football game. And then when I think it was January, I went and they were playing a tournament. So we did an unofficial campus tour then, and got to see like the new buildings that were being remodeled. We got to see their nurses building as well. And then in January is when I verbally committed. So
Nice. So, that sounds great. It sounds like it's your place so far. So what was it like playing in the state championship down in Purdue?
oh my God, it like still gives me chills. I think it's just because of how big an accomplishment it was. I mean, yes, we lost, but you always have to look on the other side. Like, we made it so far. We made history. And that's the biggest thing that keeps replaying in my head is I was a part of history. And like, I have all these goals and working up, I never thought that that would be one of my goals. And then once it got close, I was like, oh my gosh. But playing in the state game, we were all really nervous. Well, at least I was. But like talking in the on the bus on the way there with the music, we're like getting pumped up, we're ready. And then that first inning felt like the longest inning of my life. And I really honestly I don't remember how long it was, but it just felt like I was there forever. It felt like that game was forever. And then we started getting runs on the board. And we're like, okay, we got this. We can come back. And then when they like broke it open, we still were trying to keep our heads high, but there were some seniors that weren't going to play softball anymore past high school. That's when it started hitting them. And so then it was like me and some of the other sophomores, we were like kind of trying to, and juniors, we were like, it's okay, let's finish this game. And then after the game, it's more of a blur more now because it just was like kind of hard to like re-watch in your head. I would way more want to watch like the beginning of the game. We were all pumped and like we were doing the infield outfield in the stadium, and you can see half of the stadium in blue, and we're like, oh my God, all those people are for us. Like, this is our community. So
Absolutely. Playing in kind of that venue and stuff like that, a big university like Purdue, you guys keep going to like SemiState and stuff like that, even though you guys most likely are going to move a class up by at least your senior year. Uh, I could see recruiters coming. the South Central and stuff like that. With, like I said before, with the rich history already with baseball and softball that South Central has. But kind of going from that experience, what do you take into your junior year this year?
That experience was like once in a lifetime. So if that will just be another goal we can achieve, and that will be our like the goal that we will reach for. So going into my junior year and having that experience under my belt, and like even I've been to a few of the open gym workouts for this year, and a few of like the freshmen asked me like, what was it like? So I think it's good to kind of tell them like, this is what you get if you work hard. So it's mainly just the focus of working hard, doing the same thing we did last year, is working hard in the off season, working hard during the season, working hard in between games, and just having the same mentality of you will work hard and stuff will come to you.
Absolutely. So here on Regan's Corner, we have this last segment. It's not like a speed round, but the audience get to know you a little bit more. It's called the Hot Corner. Okay. So I'm gonna throw some questions at you. Okay. So what is your favorite sports movie of all time?
Ooh, probably Sandlot, because I just think it's hilarious.
Nice. What's the go-to meal?
Ooh, chicken Alfredo with broccoli.
Oof. Okay. What's your favorite sport to watch that is not softball?
Probably baseball, just because it's always on at our house, or football. Depends on the season.
Okay. So who's your teams, professional teams?
Oh gosh, Cubs for sure. Just because I feel like everyone likes the Cubs, but I like the Cubs. And then for football, I have no idea. No idea.
Hey, that sounds like a Bears fan to me. Okay.
Maybe not that.
Okay. Maybe a little bit of a Packers thing going on there.
No.
How about a Colts thing going on there?
I could see that. Yeah.
Okay, I was a little okay. So let's see here. Who's your favorite player of all time in softball?
Jenny Finch. Hands
Jenny
down, Jenny Finch.
Okay. One of the goats. Okay. So what are your goals on the field and off the field?
Off the field, I would say just have a good mentality of everything. Even if it's not softball, just always see the high points of things. And then on the field, just stick with what I know and let my body do what it knows how to do. I've always said don't think too much. That's the main thing. If I think too much, then things are just going to go downhill. But if I just let my body do the mechanics that it knows how to do, I'll be just fine.
Absolutely. So what major are you thinking about studying, even though it's 2 years away? But what major are you thinking of studying?
I'll probably have my major in elementary ed. I really want to be like between kindergarten and I would say kindergarten, 6th grade maybe, as a teacher.
Nice. So I am excited for the softball season. I'm excited maybe even talking to you on a media day or something like that. If coach wants it, if he doesn't, okay, cool. But just to cover you guys this year, I'm excited for it. Okay, and I'll have that schedule out pretty soon. So it's always a pleasure having a satellite on here since I'm a satellite alum. So stay satellite, my friend.